I'm going to show you guys the best way to play Radiant Typhoon in this video. I have 11 tips here that would really help you, whether you're new or not new with Radiant, everything about it. I'm going to show you guys my list that I'm playing for my pure Radiant list. Not as good as my Radiant Yummy, but still incredibly good and a great pick for the 300th. If you guys are ready to really master Yu-Gi-Oh, check out my Metafy down below. I'm going to be doing daily classes on my Metafy as well as a master class on Yummy, Radiant, and as a masterclass on pure Radiant, because I believe these two decks are incredibly good. So with that being said, let's get straight into this video. This is my deck. Goodbye to my chat. Check out my Metafy down below. It's legit 40 hours a month of training. This is the deck list. This is why I want to start with this. Okay, I'm gonna go over a lot of stuff. Yes, Trif, why are you playing over 40, bro? I'm gonna explain everything and why. You'll see some stuff people don't play. For example, I'm playing 3 Tenki, 3 Bearer, and 3 Megala. A lot of people don't recognize the power of these cards. The way this deck is, and it's incredibly strong, is when you have a multitude of quick play spells. This is why this deck does not do too well with, when it doesn't have 2 or 3 quick play spells in hand, it's not as swift and clean. Even if you're going first, a card like Fallen Virtuous or even double cycloning anything, you just want quick play spells, because that's how you trigger cards when you go second or when you go first or when you set them on your opponent's turn going first as well. So I built this deck in a way where it has 24 starters, but kind of 27. Every deck should be playing 3 Tenki. Every deck should be playing 3 Bearer. I believe this is unquestionable. Every deck should also be playing 3 Megala. Even if you want to play 40 cards, these are the best cards in the deck. This card is Cup C Yummy. There's 15 Cup Cs in this deck, but you're choosing, a lot of decks don't play Tenki or this. It's just 6 copies of Swen, 6 copies of Eldum. And there's no such thing as if you open 2. Because if you open 1 Swen and 1 Tenki, this deck never normal summons ever. Everything is a special summon in the deck. You never normal in this deck. So you could special the Swen, Tenki get another normal it. Or you get the Tenki to get the extra Swen, and you always draw 3 in this deck. Or the way I do my combo, I draw 3 every single time. So this is the way I'm doing my Radiant deck. And I have my 11 tips here that I'm going to go and explain for you guys. But in the pure version of Radiant, I highly recommend 3 Megala. Seriously. It's just as powerful as Crusea, because if you look at my deck right now, guys, there is 25 quick play spells, and 12 of these get more. So there's actually 37 quick play spells in my deck, making Crusea and Megala godly. The end board of my deck is, I'm going to show you guys the replay of a combo replay right now, and I'm going to get to the 11 tips as soon as you guys see the deck. For those that don't know what it does, this is the gist of it. Now, MST is actually a defining card of the format. Who the fuck would have seen the day? MST actually is going to be putting the whole next 3-month format in a chokehold, because MST will check Draco Tail cards so well. The only negate that Draco Tail has is Flame. So when you're able to MST your own card that's a crazy level card, or let's say you MST a Horn, they use it, and then you could chain your own cycle, it's all free, and then MST gets in the grave, you get summons. Or my favorite one is when you have Duster and Lightning, let's say you have Lightning Storm and MST. You actually have, this deck has 13 MSTs, because in the draw phase you go Manifestation, add MST. I'll also explain why we play 3 of this later. But draw phase, let's say you have Lightning Storm and Manifestation in your hand. Manifestation draw phase, get MST, they'll probably let that go. Lightning Storm, blow up all 4 of their back row, the 3 traps, and Fallen and Virtuous. They'll chain Flame, you MST your own card. All 4 go for 2 cards. The Radiant cards are next level in the format. Also in the Radiant battle, when this actually is one of my tips, tip 8 here, is, I'll get to one by one so you guys know, but whoever wins the mirror is whoever wins the mandate battle. Whoever wins the mandate chain battle wins the mirror. You're going to have this in Yummy Radiant, you're going to have this in Pure Radiant, you're going to have this Mean Sweet Radiant, for higher Radiant, every version of Radiant. You want as many ways to have quick play spells to defeat the mandate chain link. This card's once per chain, not once per, it's not once per turn, which is crazy. You know, your MST will get 3 Omni negates with this card, but it's once per chain, which means if you activate a quick play spell, they don't get their MST won't negate, not ironically. So the way I built this deck is to make sure that I will always defeat Radiant and Draco Tail going second. So that's the theory of the deck. And now on to tips. One more thing is Manifestation. Manifestation going second. I almost think 12 that we should be playing 15 MSTs. All Radiant cards might be maxed out. It's similar to Runic. If you don't have Runic spells, you fucking lose the game. Like, it's the same idea. You need the Radiant spells. a plethora of them, because that's how you resolve all these cards. Megala and Corsair are the main cards of the deck you want to resolve, and these 12 simply get them. Just one of each of these, side Sheena going second, and yeah, the deck's crazy. Is 25 board breakers with all these kind of being pseudo breakers because they search more breakers. Actually, incredibly good. And the combo I'm going to show you guys is a one card combo that would rely on Corsair or Megala, which all these search. Incredibly consistent of a deck. Let's get started. So, with my random hand here, just to show you guys how a hand looks like. Obviously, you have many ways to do this. One of the reasons I love Manifestation is you could MST yourself so easily. Another reason you should be playing Tenki at 3, by the way, is you can MST yourself anytime. But in my combo, I'm going to get the Nibiru negate because of Manifestation before my opponent has a chance to Nibiru me. In the draw phase, I'm going to go Chant. I get Megala and Eldam up. I don't need to activate Megala yet, but I always like summoning my level 3s to the board as quick as I could. Effect, I'm going to get Corsair, and now I'm going to chill out a little bit. I know I have Corsair in my hand anytime I want to. I go Manifestation in this game state to send our Nibiru out. And then I'm going to trigger this, Chain Link 1 Megala, Chain Link 2 Corsair. Chain blocking is one of the keys of Radiant. I have 11 tips. I'm going to save it for the very end. I want to show you guys how this works. Chain blocking is fucking huge in this deck, because now Megala Chain Link 1, Corsair Chain Link 2, this card is at the same level as Corsair. It fucking emergency teleports a card from your deck. And if you're playing pure Radiant, you do not give a shit about Windlock. I Windlock myself all the time in pure Radiant. It's when you combine it with better stuff like Yummy, well, obviously you don't play the pure stuff, or the lock. Here you summon Swen, you get the Swen, you chain block again. Corsair Chain Link 1, Swen Chain Link 2. Their Ash Blossom does nothing. They cannot stop that. Now we literally search 3 cards. Broken, right? So now if you guys recognize in this game state, we have our Nibiru out, but we do need MST in the grave. So I'm not gonna. This is why I love a deck that has it's so fluid and clean and consistent. Everything's a quick play spell, everything's a starter, and you have we already activated 2 quick play spells. Most Radiant decks activate 2 quick play spells and call it a day and pass. That's it. We activate 5 per turn. I activate Tenki here. If you don't have Tenki as a free pop, it's okay. What you could do in this game state is, so I use Manifestation to send a Typhoon card. It's not once per turn. You could use the second effect as well, like similar to a surprise. So you could use the effect of this to add MST, chain MST, pop Manifestation. If this card is destroyed by effect of MST, set this card. You set it back for free. And but the reason why we want to pop our own Tenki is we don't want it clogging up our zones. So you're always going to MST your own Tenki going first. And on resolution, we're going to summon our Varun on summon number 5 with MST in the grave. So you could do bamboozling if you want, but this is the same equivalent while I feel saving more resources. At this point, we're going to put 2 cards into Varun, link 2. We're going to add our MST. And we have already resolved 4 quick play spells this turn. We've resolved 4 already. Let's activate 5. I go Vision to draw 2, discard 1. We don't need the double Cyclone. Double Cyclone's great this format. You know, just don't need it right now. Get the trap, make Totem Bird, and at this game state, make a decision. I would probably, yes, you didn't normal summon yet. So a lot of people that have issues playing 3 Tanky or 3 Shield Bearer, like, they're different cards from Swen and the other one. This deck has 0 normal summons. They're all specials. So if you already use one of their effects, like there's no such, if you play 6 of them, you special one and normal the other. You need to see these cards to make it as clean as possible. I'm just gonna normal summon the Swen. I'll use this to draw 1. I made a huge mistake here. MST needs to stay in the grave. So one of my tips I'll explain later, but always have Radiant Typhoon spell, quick play spells in grave, so this could resolve in the next turn. But also always keep 1 MST in grave at all times, because 1 MST in grave at all times means this is a monster negate. So pretend that I sent Manifestation instead of MST. So there's an MST in our grave right now. We draw a random card. We use 6 quick play spells this turn. That's how you fucking play Radiant. We use another one now. This one we did not use. Yeah, we did not use that one. And we set, or chant. We didn't use one of them twice, whatever. We'll normal the Swen to call it a day, and this is my combo. Every hand will do it. Literally every hand will do it. We have 3 unknown, and I kept MST as I said. So this combo ends on double Omni Negate from MST and Mandate, triple Omni Negate with Totem Bird, a pop, a droplet, a monster negate, a DD Crow, 8 interruptions with a draw. And what's really cool about here is you also You draw on their turn. You draw on your turn again when it comes back around with all the quick play spells. Even through playing around Nib. And Virtuous will get another Virtuous on your turn. So you literally start your turn with 4 cards. Like, it's a very good deck. Especially played like how I'm playing it, with maximum consistency. And it's okay to go over 46 or 40 because I want many good cards in there to search. All right, now that's the combo. Well, I'm going to quickly do a rundown of what each of them do, and then I have 11 tips here in my book to tell you guys, tips you guys might not know. Every one of them are extenders. Swen, Eldam, Megala summon themselves special for free if you have MST in your graveyard or if your opponent controls no spells and traps. So going first, they're all automatically specials. Going second, you search MST. This is why we're playing 13 copies of MST to send it to the grave. Someone mentions Totem Girl is only a spell trap, not Omni. I wish my opponent only had monster negates because I have all the monster interruptions in the world. So the Totem Bird is to me an Omni because it's a spell and it's the only thing it'll be used for. So that's what these 9 do. They're all special summons and they each have an effect on summons. Swen and Eldam on summon. This adds a radiant spell or MST. This adds a monster or MST. Everything in the deck's MST. Then Megala, when radiant quick play spell or MST is activated, this could special a radiant from your typhoon from monster from your deck. Incredible. So that's how you get everything. Corsair is the best one in the deck. If a quick play spell is activated, any quick play spell, special from the hand. If this card's normal or special, add a Radiant Typhoon card and Mystical Space Typhoon card. Megala and Corsair lock you. This is a +2. They are all +1s. Shield Bearer is only here for one reason. Shield Bearer just searches Eldam. That's it. Tanky searches Swen. That's it. Phoenix and Varun are the one-ofs that are very good. If a quick play spell is activated while they're in the hand, they get special in the hand from a quick play spell. All 5 of these big ones special for free on quick play spells. That's why we want quick play spells. Phoenix, when a quick play spell is activated on the field, pops 2 cards of the opponent. So when you're going second, this will pop 2 cards. Let's say you're going second. You have a tough time breaking the full board. Phoenix could pop 2 cards that they have on your turn and 2 cards on their turn. It could pop 4 cards. Like Access Code Talker. Yeah, very good. This is the Monster Negate. They also both have 2 other effects. They get both special from hand, but that goes special from the grave. When an MST is activated in the grave, you get special these from the grave. You get special them twice per turn, even. And this, when it's on the field, instead of being a pop 2, it's a Monster Negate while MST is in the grave, which will always be the case. 10 MST cards. This MST card is the best one. Is draw 2 and then discard a quick play spell or Radiant Typhoon card. Or add MST. The reason the Radiant Typhoon cards are so fucking broken, it's like Runics. It's the ability to search MST, which is a board breaker in this format, a very good one, because MST stops your opponent's 2 interruptions to the mandate. It stops flame, stops everything, right? So all these 10 have the ability to be MST. All of these 6 have the ability to, all these 12 have the ability to be MST. So these 12, these 10, these are 22 cards that are full combo or MST. When you combine those 22 with these 9, that's 31, 37. We're playing a 46 card deck. 37 of those cards search MST or are board breaker going second. So that's why you play this deck with board breakers and quick play spells, making these search. It's actually so clean and good, really. This card is the best Radiant one after this. So all the Radiant quick play spells either search MST or they do their own other effect. This adds a level 4 or lower Radiant Typhoon monster from your deck to your hand. Which that allows to do this. This deck actually destroys Draco Tail. This is an incredible matchup to Draco Tail because your opponent's going to go set 3, set 4. You're playing 35 MSTs. You don't give a fuck. Like, you destroy that deck. Manifestation is a card not many people play, but I actually think is very good because when you're going first or second, this card, yes, it's an MST. Hey, just the fact that it searches MST and just the fact that it could chain block the mandate is enough for me. And it's a card that you could chain all your quick play spells. You just want, this is like, all of these are like Upstart Goblins, truly. Upstart Goblin that adds into the void. Very good, because it triggers all your quick play spells, all these 8 to the side. These 12 don't need quick play spells. These 8 need quick play spells. Make sense? This one, the other effect other than MST says, send a Radiant Typhoon monster from your deck to the grave. If you go first, this card is Foolish Burial for your Nibiru protection. If you're going second, it's Foolish Burial for a card that pops 2 cards. And because you activate so many MSTs, they're always going to summon. This card's actually a very good starter. You're never going to open just one manifestation in this deck. Look at the deck. Very good. Now, Elation is actually a very cool card where you could it's same thing, searches MST. The other is special level 6 or lower Radiant Typhoon monster from your grave. I love having one of these because you can do some cool shit to play around Charmies in some simplified game states. You could send Crosea, special Crosea. Send out like on the opponent's turn special. Very, very, very good. Yeah, this shuffle, sorry, it doesn't pop. Shuffle, whatever, same thing, even better. Next, you play the one trap card. The only brick in the deck is the one trap card. You don't necessarily want to open it, but who gives a shit? You could literally just discard it with Typhoon Vision, so it's the same thing. And the Link 2 actually places the trap. The trap's what makes this deck broken. Now, the 3 MSTs, also actually a combo piece. And these 12, I feel, are the best cards that mix with these spells. If you think of the format, look, I want as many cards to stop Radiant Typhoon Mandate as humanly possible. That's Cyclone and Fallen Virtuous. Cyclone also stops Flame very well. This is just a format where MST and back row is the name of the game in this format. Double Cyclone, I know it's crazy, but it might be a main deckable card. It's more main deckable than Storm, Evenly, or Duster, which is also crazy in the format. Virtuous is incredible in this deck because the deck doesn't need much extra deck space, and it pairs very well with everything. When you're going against this deck, you want all these stuff to stop it. You want to pop your own MST sometimes, so your card resolves. Is very good. And lastly, Droplet and Poly. I feel the two best quick play spells. Super Poly, yes, it's not that good in the format because the whole format's back row. This whole deck has 37 board breakers. 31 of those board breakers are spell and trap removal. We need some monster ones for when we play other decks. So Droplet and Poly are just good combinations. They're very good combinations with the MSTs. Forbidden Crown is not good in this format. It doesn't do enough this format. If there was another quick play spell I would play, it would be Crown. But it's not that good this format. Sheena is incredible going second. It's a great board breaker going second. Decided going second is very bad going first. Storm, Evenly, Duster, put these 5 in against the decks with back row. Call by Silent Graveyard's a great card against Shittail and some other decks for going first or second. And Heat Wave is absolute godly in this deck because you could use this, but you could also use Vision and draw phase to search. You could actually, if you draw Crosea or one of these, you could summon Crosea in the draw phase and then Heat Wave. Best go first card in the game for this deck. Someone says, why not Cosmic Cyclone? If you're playing cards like Cosmic Cyclone, you want them to be MSTs because the MSTs are also a combo, so they don't need to be just MST, and they trigger the rest of your cards that need MST in the grave. And Double Cyclone gets rid of double cards and protects your card. So when they flame your MST, for example, you Cyclone, destroy your own MST, so your MST will resolve to pop that card, and then you pop another one. So you pop like 3 cards. You pop whatever it targeted, you pop the flame just doesn't resolve, and you pop the 3rd one. Extra deck, 2 Link 2 is all you need. The whole extra deck is all either wins or cards for Super Poly or Fallen Virtuous and 1 SP. So if you guys look at the extra deck, it's SP, it's 5 cards for Ecclesia and Super Poly, and then 9 wins. You lock yourself in this deck all the time immediately. Crosea and Megala as quickly and fast as possible. It's just more cards the opponent must stop. So the only extra cards we play are win. We don't need Zeus, it doesn't come up a lot. The board typically will end on Totem Bird. Sometimes if you open one of these, or if you have so many Radiant cards and not enough quick play spells, you also hand loop them for 1. So you hand loop for 1, you Totem Bird or Bamboozling. There's a combo then on both. What you do is Megala is 2 level 3s, 1 in itself. Eldam is a level 3, Swen is a level 3. But when you have a lot of these level 3s, and keep in mind Tenki and the searches it, you also normal summon a level 3. So you have 5 level 3s. 5 level 3s that you could play with. So 2 of them go into Totem and Bamboozling. Another one will go into this with the Crosea. And then if you have another monster, whether it's a 9 or something, it goes into a free DD Crow. So your end board will always have DD Crow. This card comes up sometimes. This helps for OTKs. Comes up in the mirror occasionally. This comes up when you are going out of your way to summon the 2 level 9s. It will happen. So when you go 2 level 9s on your turn, you summon the 2 level 9s, you pop some cards, you get rid of some cards, and then when they've had their use, you, for free, Omega loop 1 card, and they're just coming back next turn. Because when you activate MST on the next turn, they both resummon from the grave. So it happens when both of these hit the board, it does come up. Anything that says wind, interruption, comes up a lot in simplified game states. Same as this card, Ritual Beast. If you're going second, you're locked into wins. You use this, you summon a random win, any random monster you don't need, you have a free interruption on the opponent's turn for free. It's not like there's 1,000 win interruptions, right guys? You want as many as humanly possible. So I'm gonna finish up now for the 11 tips. So, guys, I hope if you're learning a lot on this YouTube video, or if you're learning a lot from if you're watching live on Twitch or on YouTube right now, if you haven't learned Radiant, you'll know it now. I feel this is extremely in-depth, probably the most in-depth guide. I will be doing a Metafy pure Radiant guide, but I do feel that Radiant Yummy is the best way to play it. With that being said, I have 11 tips for you guys. You guys might not know. I wrote this shit down. Let's go. So, if you only have one Radiant card and you have the ability to search them, or you have the ability to choose what to start with, you want to always start with Swen. Swen says, add a Radiant spell. You add Chant, which will then add Eldum. Eldum adds any monster. Chant adds level 4 or lower. It doesn't add Cresea. You guys catch that? So whether you're playing a version without Megala, whether you're playing Yummy version of Radiant, for higher version, whatever version, Sven into Eldum into Cresea. Got it? A little different going second with this, a bit different with Megala, but the idea is that Sven adds the spell adds Eldum, Eldum adds Cresea. Do not start with Eldum into Swen into Cresea. If Eldum is your only starter, for example, you add a Radiant Typhoon monster, you actually have to add one of these immediately, basically. Because if you add Swen, like the 2/3s, they coexist together. People feel it's like the same card. It's full card combo, right? If you go Eldum and search Swen, Swen's only capable of adding a Radiant Typhoon spell. You go Chant and search Megala, but some of you don't even play it, or you might not have enough quick play spells to get it. So if you're not playing Megala, especially, it's Swen into Eldum into Cresea, especially in Yummy format. Next, when using the trap card, if you have let's say you have 2 Radiant quick play spells and 2 board breaker spells in your grave. Always keep 1 Radiant spell in the grave at all times, because this card needs to at least put back 1 quick play Radiant Typhoon spell. So do not put back 2 Radiant spells in a Super Poly, because you want these in the deck to search again. You put back 2 Poly and 1 spell. Always try to keep 1 spell, and always try to keep 1 MST in grave for the negate. Tip number 3 for you guys: each Radiant spell could be used twice. You could use the search MST effect of each of them. You could use the special effect, or the actual effect of them. That's why you want to play a lot of them. Tip number 4. Radiant cards also add MST from grave. Mind you, that comes up for Bell, okay? So all Radiant cards, feel free to have 1 MST in grave at all times. Tip 4, keep an MST at grave at all times. Even if you're under draw, you could search it from your grave with these cards. Tip 5, the trap could be used in the damage step. I had this weird game state where this came up it was very important. My opponent had Arthalion. He also played Draco Tail all the time. I had Phoenix. He obviously wanted to get rid of the Phoenix before I pop his shit back to the deck, shuffle, whatever. So he entered battle phase to attack Phoenix. I had this on the field. I didn't use it because I'm an idiot. He also had Ash Blossom. This card has to resolve for both effects. This card's effect says, shuffle the 3 cards into the deck, draw a card, and you gain 300 attack. That's what it says. But you could Ash the whole effect. If I use this card in damage step, you can't Ash in damage step. So not only will my Phoenix gain 3,300 attack, similar to dropletting the opponent, and it's tough for them to know because who the fuck knows what this card does. They also can't Ash the draw, and they cannot Ash the effect. If you do this at the battle phase, they could Ash it. Your monster stays at 3,000 attack. So I lost my draw, and not only did I lose my draw, I lost my monster, which is a pop. Very important to do that. Even if you're going first, you enter the battle phase, attack, and then do it if you need to. It's free. All right. Tip number 6. Chain block Cresea and Megala when possible. Exactly how I showed you guys in that replay. Tip 7. Cresea is the best card in the deck, protected at all costs. Tip number 8. Include 1 more engine if you could. I'm playing Yummy Radiance, my real deck. This is my pure deck that I also like. I believe it's tier 1 deck. But if you could play a secondary engine to end on a big board, you guys be the judge if this board's enough. It's 3 spell trap negates. Well, 3 Omni negates. A pop, a droplet, a negate, a bounce, a banish. Yeah, fuck. Okay, this is enough. But you know, you're not Trif gaming. If you don't end on, like, a lot of people are just going nib protection, these 5 pass. You want to have something. You don't want to get super susceptible to your opponent's MSTs to stop the mandate, which you might not resolve these. Totem Bird's vital to the board. Either end on Totem Bird always, or you need something else on top. Like, you need another engine. Tip number 9. Always win the chain war with MST in the trap. This trap card is fucking deadly. It's not once per it's not once per duel, it's once per turn, once per fucking chain. So you have, with your quick play spells, you win the war. The trap card is the equivalent of Gulamel. So if your opponent activates MST, let's say your opponent really wants to negate your Radiant Typhoon Vision, pay close attention, they don't teach you this shit in school. If your opponent goes MST on your Radiant Typhoon Vision, you activate Vision, they go MST it, for an example. Or the MST is something else, but they're like, what do you think they're trying to do? They're obviously trying to negate it. So if you really wanted to resolve, chain your other quick play spell, and it'll miss the timing to pop. This is only a negate when it chains in direct correlation to it. That's why the end board needs more beef. Because if the MST runs rampant and a negate consistently, it's fucking over. No one's beating this board. The only way to beat this board is to cheat the board by finding ways to stop the trap by reading. That's how I built this deck. I looked at this board. This is the normal board, basically. And I worked backwards. I want my deck to beat this board 90% of the time. That's what the quick play spells do. You save them. Win the chain war. And that's how you beat this deck. And that's how you play this deck. Don't allow it to be beating on the chain war. Tip number 10 here. At the conclusion of your turn, just know the second that this card resolves, you have 3 negates. Just know that. Because you save Cresseia for last. Once this card resolves, you get 3 negates. You get the trap card. This card will get you 2 MSTs alone. And this card adds you an MST. That's 3 MSTs. This equals 3 MST by itself. 3 MST with this by itself. So if you're going second, your opponent stopped all your pushes, and you have 1 last card in your hand and it's a push, just know as long as there's a Cresseia, it's 3 Omni negates by itself. Tip number 11, the best play into Charmies. Fualos does jack shit. Under Fualos, you give them 1 draw. That's it. You don't need to give more. 1 draw, you literally lead full combo. 1 draw leads to this full board without Totem Bird. And you don't need DD Crow. Who gives a fuck? And in fact, you'll actually, through Fualos, you'll also have the other, you'll have Phoenix as well live because you'll prioritize it. So Fualos does nothing. 1 draw, 2 draws if you want to give him Totem Bird, like 1 or 2 draws, you get exactly what you're looking at right here. Purulia is different. It's a lot harder. So my tip for Fualos is ignore that card. There's no Ash Blossom and there's in my deck anywhere. This deck does not give a flying fuck to any Charmy whatsoever. Maxi would hurt, but not Charmies. So Fualos, we obliterate Fualos. Purulia now is a bit more of a problem. You have to be smarter. The way to play around Purulia, they're obviously using Purulia in draw phase or standby phase. They're using a standby, right? So once you see the Purulia in standby, you gotta prioritize getting Megala immediately. They're gonna draw 1 or 2 draws. Megala is how you obliterate Purulia. If they have Fualos, you don't use Megala. If they have Purulia, this card is your savior. Let's say the only way to search this card is like your actual Radiant cards. Like one of these. Let's say you don't open Megala. Purulia. You go Swen. Swen effect, add the spell to get Megala. Megala trigger the special Cresseia. Cresseia special something else. Like through 2 draws, you resolve Cresseia, you resolve Megala, you'll get the Nibiru, you'll get Totem Bird, you'll get all the draws. You'll get quite literally your entire board from 2 draws because of Megala. This deck eats Fualos, this deck eats Purulia. When you get hit with both Fualos and Purulia, you're playing an MST deck. You pass as much as you can to board break or play your spells. But no deck's beating those 2, but it's not the worst. All right, my last tip number 12. This deck never normal summons. If you need to, you could tribute summon the Cresseia. Everything special summons, so you tribute the Cresseia. All right, thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching on Twitch. This is my YouTube video on how to properly play Radiant Typhoon inside and out from a professional 3-time YCS champion. I am doing a live Metafy masterclass on Radiant Typhoon in before the 300th. Make sure to sign up below. If you're a Metafy member, you get all masterclasses for free. You get every masterclass I've ever done for free immediately. There's 100+ hours on there right now. And on top of that, this is going to be my fucking Mona Lisa. My Radiant Typhoon Yummy deck that I've been hiding from YouTube is the best fucking deck, man. I'm taking it to the 300th. I will be doing it in class. You also get a free class of that. Sign up to the Medify down below. You won't regret it. With that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. And best deck. Bye.